What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I thank you all for tuning in this beautiful Tuesday night. It's a little after 7:30, and I'm rocking. I'm rolling. Still got a little bit of COVID running through me, but this blood runs green. It runs green? I don't know what I'm even saying. See, I told you last night, if I start saying things that don't make any sense, I mean, I do that anyway. But if I do that today, bear with me because we are running on fumes. And look, there's a lot of excitement to be had. So I'm not letting anything get in the way of this. The only thing it got in the way of was, giving you guys some notes on the practices and, being at that open practice. So unfortunate, but we're getting healthy. We're going to be ready for this preseason and season, getting pumped up. So we're going to talk about tonight the Eagles' projected 53-man roster. And then at the end, I'm going to show you the depth chart too. But throughout this, I'm going to be showing you a lot of stuff. I'm going to show you the depth chart as I see it by position. So we're going to go through the offense, the defense, all that great stuff. But essentially, we're just going to look at what Howie Roseman, what he sought out to do this offseason and what he was able to do and which of these pieces are going to stick around. And look, I'm really excited about tonight's show. You guys know I've talked about this extensively, and we did a position by position breakdown before training camp, and I talked about all the people I thought would make the team. And if you added them all up, that was 53. So, yeah, I already kind of gave it to you, but we're going to do it this way where I can show you guys all as one. And then in the end, I'm going to show you a depth chart. You're going to see the positional count where you get to see by each position how many guys we have kept. So I'm going to show you all the guys competing, everything. So you'll know everything that is going on, and then you can make your own assumptions and projections. So you can tell me exactly how you feel down below as we go, or however you want to do it. I know you guys like to, just throw whatever out there, and I totally appreciate it. So whatever is on your mind, let's get it going. Got a few comments in the chat here. Yo, my man JP in the building, waiting for this. You know it, dude. So yeah, and I already gave you guys the info a little bit there, but yeah, just going to show it all as one so you guys can see, because I see a lot of 53-man projections coming out after I did that. So might as well just call it that and show you guys what I've got here. So I look, I'm feeling a little better. Got some nice rest in today. And it goes in spurts, man. And that's how it is. My legs still feel really weird. It freaks me out that like I can barely walk. I don't know. I don't know. But I was really achy and stuff. I understand that. But my legs feel like they can barely work. It sucks. So hopefully, my body just keeps fighting. With cirrhosis, it makes it, a little more complicated. That's why I ended up in the hospital, because it was attacking my liver. So that was the worst thing to me, not anything else. But yeah, now we're just going to beat this thing's ass and keep rolling. So appreciate you, though, my man Jay in the building as well. What is going on, dude? Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to try to give you guys as much energy and whatever I can. And look, if I just start going off or just don't make any sense, let me know, because I'm not 100% yet. But look, everybody, you guys are awesome. All of you that reached out, everything, you guys are seriously, you mean the world to me. So thank you for that. And, when I had nothing else to do, getting back to those messages after, I kept going in and out. They kept doing tests on me. They'd come back to a CAT scan, then an ultrasound. They had to do it on my sack, dude, because of the hernia being off. Dude, there are so many things they did to me, but I finally came back, got to answer you guys. And it was just nice to not sit there and just listen to the sounds. And dude, I got PTSD from that hospital, man. I can't do that stuff. So I appreciate you guys, man. I really do. My man Tate, another guy, dude, that reached out. Look, all of you are truly, you mean the world to me. So thank you. And I love that, dude. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoy that nickname. And me and my girlfriend were laughing pretty hard about that. So yes, we're ready to rock and roll. Hope you guys are ready to rock and roll. We're going to see what Howie, all the pieces he has given here. Who are we going to keep? Where are we going to keep them? And yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. So let's get it going. And let's start off with that offense. And we've talked about Nick Sirianni, what he was able to do, how he improved. But one of the things he improved last year was giving the play calling duties over to Shane Steichen. We started running that damn ball. Thank you, Lord. So we're going to continue to grow this offense. I think open that playbook a lot more now that Jalen Hurts has developed. And, you added A.J. Brown. That is, it's quite the weapon to add. So I think these are going to be pretty interesting on this offensive side of the ball. But let's talk about who's making this team. So we're going to start with quarterbacks. So we know that Jalen Hurts is QB1. There's no question there. Gardner Minshew, he has been struggling. So we've talked about, does he have some, could we trade him? Is there any kind of bait there? Look, I think you definitely could. But, with him struggling, you're not going to get as much, I don't think. But he's still better than a lot of quarterbacks out there. So I definitely think he could be on the move, but we're not going to do this show talking about trades of Reagor, Dillard, anything like that. Just going to talk about who we have here, why I think we'll keep them. So you see the 4 guys here. Reed Sinnett had a strong showing. That's great. I think Carson Strong, to me, he is somebody that has a pretty high upside. We talked about him before the draft. You know, if he didn't have that knee injury, I thought he could have been one of the better quarterbacks in that class. So I think he still is. I'm just saying, when it came to draft position. So, between those 3 guys, who's going to be the backups? I think, the Eagles are going to keep 3 quarterbacks here. And look, I don't think they have to. It could just be Gardner and Jalen, and I almost kept it that way. But maybe they really like Carson Strong, and I still want to see what he does in this preseason before I get ahead of myself. But we're talking about, before the preseason, so this is just a projection. So Carson Strong, if he is somebody you like, you can't put him on waivers, allow somebody else to take him. If you have a kid in the wings that you think you can develop and he could be a great backup or maybe a starter and a trade piece at some point later down the road, I'm all aboard that train. So, yeah, I think that we could definitely keep 3 quarterbacks. Let me know how you feel about that. Who do you have the Eagles keeping at that position? Up next, running backs. Miles Sanders leading the way, but Kenny Gainwell going to see his fair share. And we've talked about that extensively as well this offseason. And I think this rushing attack is, again, going to be one of the top, if not the top, rushing attack in the league. So do you keep Boston Scott as that third back, or do you have a power back in Kennedy Brooks, or has Huntley improved and can help you in special teams and in the run game? Only time will tell. But for me, I think you're only keeping 3 of these guys. And I wanted to put, Kennedy Brooks because, hey, he's a power back. But look, I haven't really seen anything other than him running over third string guys. So that's awesome, but I want to see it this offseason, and I'm not sure that he's going to have enough to beat out Boston Scott. Boston Scott just provides so much, and if there were injuries or anything, he's a jack of all trades, can help you on special teams. So I had a hard time leaving him off this list. Maybe my tune changes after a couple preseason games. We see what Kennedy Brooks looks like, but for me right now, I just think Boston continues to look better and better each year. Watching him in person the other day really just got me excited for the young man. He just continues to improve, and I love it. Now, and the one thing I do want to say, actually, is he was staying after that practice when I was hanging out there talking with Lane and Jason. Kelsey, it was awesome watching the guys staying late practicing on the jugs machines, and that's what I saw Boston doing. So just the little things, man. I love it. But now wide receivers. We've got 12 of these guys, and they're all competing for a spot other than the top 3. So Zach Pascal, I think, is definitely going to earn himself a spot. Beyond that, how many do the Eagles keep? So we've talked about, can one of these guys step it up as a return specialist, possibly? Maybe stake their claim there and then, be depth at that whatever position it is. So we're talking about receiver here. Obviously, Britton Covey, Devin Allen, highlights of this offseason. You guys know I talked about Covey, somebody who I thought was more impressive. Devin Allen been out of the league 6 years, and I really feel that, he's got a long ways to go, and he didn't really have much return experience. So long shot, but maybe you can get him on the practice squad. We'll see what happens with him. But he's got competition. All these guys do. Deion Kane, Lance Lenoir, John Hightower, Carrick Wheatfall. So you look at those guys. Greg Ward, the trusted veteran. Could he be out of a job? I sure think he could be. And then you look at Jalen Reagor, who everybody, got him, get rid of him. Look, the Eagles are not going to take $8 million, of a charge on a guy that's not on the team. $6 million dead cap, $2 million cap hit. No thanks. So if you could trade him, you could only, have a $2 million charge, $1 million dead cap. So okay, that would make sense. But I would also love if the dude just panned out. And if you had a lot of really good receivers, then maybe you trade him before his 5th year options coming up. So I don't know what you want to do there exactly. I've heard the Broncos are calling this, that, the other thing. Who knows what's true? But this kid, obviously he has the talent. It's just all mental, I feel. So hopefully he gets that figured out. But until then, I think he has been improving this year, and he is showing that he has that talent. But that money is something you always have to keep in mind. So, again, we're not talking about trades or anything. I definitely think he could be. But talking those top 2 dogs right here, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, that just makes me feel pretty damn good about the receiving room no matter what. Then beyond that, you've got Quez and Pascal, and that really gets me excited that, Pascal, a dependable, slot receiver who can also block really well. So, I think that this is a really good wide receiving corps. And if Jalen Reagor can pan out to be something, oh, hell yeah. And the surprise I threw on there, and you guys remember I've been saying this for while now. I just kind of feel like this kid's going to make the team because we're going to put an emphasis on the return game. We need to do that. And I think this kid can do that. And I know he's of the smaller variety. So, look, I get it. He might not make the team. He's got a, uphill battle here, but I really think that he's got the talent. If you watch, all the tapes I put out on him and everything, I just really think that the kid, he's really got a shot here. And I'm hopeful that he makes this roster. So I threw him on mine. So I have the Eagles keeping 6 receivers there. Now on to tight end. We've got some battles, but we've got some injuries. So Jaden Graham ended up on IR. Season's over. Tyree Jackson on the PUP list. Probably start the season there. Have to miss the first 6 weeks. So beyond that, who's going to step it up? Now, Calcaterra has been out of practice the last few days with a hamstring injury. So we need these other guys to step it up. Who's going to show Arcega-Whiteside? Highly doubt he makes this team. But Richard Rodgers, Noah Togiai, do they want to get that final position? For me, I feel we are keeping 3. So it's Goddard, Stoll, and Calcaterra. But now the Calcaterra is banked up. Can someone push him out? Does he end up on the PUP? What happens there? I don't know. But I tried not to get too far ahead of myself with that stuff. I'm hopeful that Calcaterra gets healthy, stays healthy. He ends up, being that third tight end. And you have Goddard, Stoll, Calcaterra, Tyree Jackson on that PUP list, able to come back after 6 weeks. So I think that would be a great tight end room. And, having that 12, 13 personnel, all those looks, I really think is going to put defenses on their heels. And, man, we've talked about that extensively. And now you see it. And look, Calcaterra, best of luck to you because he's the perfect F-type tight end, I feel. And, yeah, please just get healthy, man. Now on to the offensive line. Jason Kelsey, we know he just had some elbow surgery. Hopefully he's back week 1. Please, God. But if not, you've got Cam Jurgens there, then Jack Anderson, Cameron Tom. They're going to see a plethora of snaps in this preseason. So we're going to find out who wants to be the backup, all that great stuff. We know we drafted the guy to be the backup, but regardless, on to the guards. Dickerson, Sayamalu, and Driscoll battling out. We've talked about Sayamalu's locking that job up, but Driscoll provides such great depth, provides you a swing tackle. You love to see it, but you've got other guys competing. Coyote Awasika can play guard and tackle. That versatility really helps. Got young guys in Dunkel and Sills. Don't think they make the team, probably end up on the practice squad. Then you've got Sua Opeta, a guy that Stout loves, and, he just really can step in at any time, and I love what he provides there. So a lot of really good linemen here that you're seeing. So it was really hard for me to decide here. And then you get to the tackles. We just added Jared Williams back after Jaden Graham's injury. So you've got Dillard and LaRaven Clark backing up Mailata, Lane Johnson. And then you've obviously got Brett Toth on the PUP list there. So, again, that's going to be the same thing for Toth. Probably end up on the PUP, be out the first 6 weeks. So, yes, quite the amount of linemen, but I only have us keeping 9. And I know, look, we usually like to keep around 10, maybe even 11 if we're being wild. But this is how I see it out, man. I even lined it up a little bit for you. So you see the starters, but you see the depth. Dillard, backup left tackle. Sua Opeta can back up at left guard or right guard. You got Cam Jurgens, who is the backup center, but can hopefully provide some depth at the guard positions as he learns them. And then Jack Driscoll, who provides guard depth and right tackle depth. So love that. And then you've got Brett Toth in the wings. And again, those young men you can put on the practice squad. I love Coyote Awasika. I'd love to see him make the roster, but he might go to the practice squad if another team doesn't take him. But I really like that kid. So it was hard to really make that list there. But yeah, that was the offense, man. And for me, putting that together, maybe I want to punch myself in the face because you get to the defense, you're like trying to add it all up together. It has to fit, obviously, to 53. And you're like, no, I want to keep this many. And it just drives you insane. So there was the offense. Let me know how you're feeling about that. I want to know your thoughts, how many you keeping at each position. But let me get over to these guys over here real quick. Not buying into the Reed Sinet hype this training camp. I think it was the open practice. You had a good day. I don't get torn by one day kind of things. What is going on, my man, Drew? Hope you're doing well, dude. Glad to see you in the building. We're talking the 53-man roster projection. Going to show you the depth chart at the end. Just went through the offense. Now we're going through the defense. Appreciate you taking the time, my man. Hey, look, I told you guys as soon as I could be back, Alex, I would be back. Still hurting pup, but nothing is going to stop me. I got to stop talking so fast and so much, though, man, because it'll get you. But, dude, glad to be back. Thank you to all of you who reached out, though. Got to go. Yo, hey, hope you watch it later. If not, I'll catch you next time. Appreciate you just taking the time, my man. Have a safe night and a great night. Take care, brother. Go Birds. It will be a sad day when Greg Ward gets cut, man. Yeah, I love Greg Ward. Actually got a chance to like interview him, ask him a question. Only got to ask him one question, but talked about his transition from, quarterback to wide receiver. And I always liked the kid anyway, but just hearing like the way he was talking to me, and my kid was really cool, and my girl, like it was just, I really enjoyed what he brought to the table. He's a cool dude, so it will be a damn shame, but a lot of talent. Forgot about Tyree. Yeah, wait, better Drew. I have you. Don't you dare, young man. I'm just busting your balls, but Tyree, he is my guy, and I cannot wait, and I will always keep you in the loop. I'll let you know when I find out he's getting any better, but. Let's go, Tyree. Let's go. What's going, my man? I'm feeling better for sure. My liver's not on fire. That's the key here. The COVID still got me, but I'll beat that thing's ass. So appreciate you asking, Mitch, but hope you're doing well, my man. My man Marcus in the building, 6'8", 365 pounds. No, I'm not. Just busting your balls. But yeah, man, there's some big dudes on that line. Look at Jordan Mailata. Holy shit. Welcome. Yo, my man BMO. It's good to be back. I was back last night and this morning. If you guys missed any of those shows, be sure to check those out. I'm busting on you, Drew. But I appreciate you guys taking the time today. We're going through this. Now we're ready for the defense. Jonathan Gannon's defense. And made a show last night trying to, again, explain what a nose tackle is, a Sam linebacker is, what Hassan Reddick and Jordan Davis roles are. So I showed people the base defense. Let's take a little look here. People get a little worked up. Well, where's TJ Edwards? And it's like, hey, now. The reason I did this, look, Tart's there instead of Epps now. Now you've got Edwards. The reason we did this, and I did it with 900 different other schemes, was to show the versatility of these players. A lot of people, I'm calling this guy D-tackle, this a DN. Not how it works. So we are going to break these guys down here. You see what these little, different schemes look like, but I don't understand where the whole talk has been about Eagles are switching defense, this, that, the other thing. No, we're not. We ran odd fronts last year. We're going to continue to do that as our base package, but we can run whatever the hell we want, and we can turn into an even front very easily. We've talked about the versatility of these players. So get excited about this defense, baby. But the question is, who is making this team? And this was really fun because there is a lot of talent and there's a lot of depth. And I know there's a lot of question marks, but some real good question marks. Defense, where I don't have the staff making cuts. Yeah, it's an intense one, man. And some of these young guys we're going to hope end up on the practice squad, but that's just going to be hopeful that another team doesn't swoop them up. So let's get it going. We're going to talk about the interior defensive linemen now. This is going to be your defensive tackles, your nose tackles, and that's in your odd fronts, your even fronts. So talking about now, a couple of these guys can be defensive ends in your even fronts. You guys know how we roll. So Fletch and Hargrave playing next to Jordan Davis is what we try to stress to people. That is one scary combination. Then you've got Milton Williams in there as depth. He's going to get a lot of snaps. Can't wait to see him feast in this defense. And then beyond that, is Marlon Tuipulotu going to step it up? Marvin Wilson's been looking good. There's a lot of talent here. So we're trying to figure out how many we're going to keep on this line. And for me, it's like, holy sh. There's one nose tackle, baby, and that's Jordan Davis. And then the defensive tackles that you're keeping, Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, and Milton Williams. I like Marlon Tuipulotu, and I hope that he improves, but I think you're going to have to try to stash him on the practice squad. But he could definitely make this team. It was just between the linebackers, the corners, the safeties. It was really hard for me to want to try to keep him over some of these guys. I'm hopeful that he could step it up, but don't know that we need depth beyond that. I really think that those guys are going to be able to give each other enough of a spell in the different schemes that you will see that this is going to work just fine. And if you have any kind of injuries, you always have the practice squad guys you can bring up, sign someone, whatever, trade someone. You know how that goes. We have cap space. Let's go. Now on to the edge rushers. Looking at Joshua as the top guy now. Brandon Graham back in the mix. He is not going to play that outside linebacker, the weak side linebacker. He will play his defensive end role actually not just the even fronts, but the odd fronts. He played a 3-technique defensive end last year. He can play 4-technique. This guy, he is an anomaly, and I love him at 34 years old. So he's one of those edge rushers in this room. Derek Barnett brought back, and he's going to see his snaps, but he's not going to be relied on as heavily, which I think will work well for he and the team. Got Teron Jackson. Really like that kid. He keeps improving. And Matt Leo from the player exemption program, international John, and hopefully he keeps improving. But I only have us keeping 4 of those guys. I have Matt Leo left off, but I think that right there, that's a great edge rusher rotation. And a lot of the times, only one of those guys has to be on the field. So, we talk about how I broke things down because of the multiple schemes. Well, we're going to look at the other side of the ball, who the other edge rusher is here in a second. But Josh Sweat leading the way, Brandon Graham too. And, 4-3, whatever you want to run, the nickel, he's going to get his too. So both those guys, you want to consider them starters. I think Josh Sweat's going to see the most snaps, but let's go. Now on to the Sam linebacker, something we've been trying to get people to understand. Somebody that rushes after the quarterback, but can drop into coverage. That is Hassan Reddick. So people got a little upset when they found that out. Maybe they should learn what football positions are first, and they won't get upset. So Kyron Johnson is behind him, and you guys know how I feel about this kid running that 4.4 speed, playing defensive end the last couple of years, but started as a linebacker, just like Hassan Reddick. He's got that skill set you want to see as a Sam linebacker. I think he could beat out Patrick Johnson and Ali Fayyad. I think we keep 2 of those guys, just 1 backup to Hassan Reddick, 2 Sam linebackers. So having Reddick and Sweat and Barnett and Graham, I really just think great combination. And then when Kyron Johnson needs to come in, I think that kid, I'm really excited to see what he could do. So really pumped about that position there. Now on to the linebackers, off ball, some of these guys. But this room gets me pumped. Kaiser White, Nakobe Dean, TJ Edwards. We've talked about this extensively. These guys are all going to get their snaps. Now, it might take Nakobe Dean a little bit longer to get there, but I think by the end of the year, he'll be the leader of the pack. And, well, Kaiser White more so than he, but I think that this kid is the future. So Kaiser White, my man, dude, I cannot believe we got him still. I'm very excited about it. I can't wait to see what he does. And, I think TJ Edwards has been slept on since last year. We've talked about that. I think he is going to have a great year too. But beyond that, who are you keeping as depth? Davian Taylor, he looks great when he's healthy. Can he stay healthy? Sean Bradley provides great depth and a great special teamer. You just love the kid, hometown kid. So we'll see. Christian Ellis and Jacoby Stevens still trying to make the team as well. I have us keeping 5, and this was rough because it was like I almost kept 2 below 2 over Bradley. Wanted to keep some other. I mean, there was so much going into this, but I just really felt, man, keeping that special teams unit locked in too. Having guys like Bradley there, I think it is pivotal to the success of this team. So I have us keeping those 5 guys, and I really think that it's exciting for, us to be able to talk about the linebacking room with some excitement rather than, oh my God, there's nobody there. What are we going to do? God help us all. So let's go. Very pumped about that. Let me know how you're feeling so far, guys. Now on to the cornerback room. We've got Slay, Bradbury, Maddox. I think going to be one of the best trios in the league. Excited about it. Beyond that, you've got so many guys competing. Kerry Vincent, Mac McCain, Josh Blackwell, Mario Goodrich, Joby. You've got them all. You see him, Jimmy Moreland, Josiah Scott. Really excited to see that battle. Zach McPherson, Tay Gowan. So Jimmy Moreland out right now, ankle injury. Unfortunate news for him. Josiah Scott's been looking good in camp, but we've got some young talent here. So where do the Eagles go here? Do you go with veteran guys that are proven they are what they are? They can help you on special teams. They're versatile, so you want to keep them. I mean, you could go so many ways with this. Or is there some young kid that you just don't want to risk letting go and finding out, he makes it on another team? So, oh man, this was probably the toughest one. And there's a lot of really promising picks, but a lot of question marks for these guys. So this was a tough one for me. Obviously, the top 3, not tough at all. But beyond that, man, Zach McPherson's staying. And I'm really excited about the future. And he's got some great teachers ahead of him. So I love that. But I kept Tay Gowan on here. And look, I like Josiah Scott. I like Jimmy Moreland. I like what they bring to the table as veterans, and not really that like, 10-year veteran or something. I'm just saying guys that have actually played for a couple years. We already had that though in the starters. So as much as Jimmy Moreland's already getting banged up, couldn't really do much for the Texans. Josiah Scott, I do like, the kid, and we did trade for him, but I feel that Tay Gowan, you also traded for him. And I think that he has a higher upside for me as an outside corner rather than that inside corner. So I just feel Tay Gowan, I hope he makes his team. And then Josh Joby. I know this is going to surprise a lot of people, but you guys know I was very high on him as an undrafted kid out of Alabama. And I think that, he is showing in camp when I got to go, last week. It was really exciting to see that, Josh Joby is actually getting a chance to show his skill set. And he's a tough dude, long arms. And I really think he could find his way on this roster just because of the fact that You let him go, another team could easily snag him up, and he could be one of those young men that is part of this future. Those three on the right could be part, of a great cornerback group of the future. If you go ahead and draft someone special next year, let them learn from these guys. Holy, I'm excited about it. So I was pretty pumped, but it was hard to decide who I wanted to keep there. And then when it came to the safeties, we added Jaquiski Tart, Epps balling out, Anthony Harris brought back, as the veteran. Look, beyond that, Kayvon Wallace, big question mark there. Reed Blankenship looking good for an undrafted kid. Jared Maiden trying to make the team. Andre Sasha-Ray, you guys know I love that dude. He can help you as, a free safety, a nickel corner, a special teams ace. I think he just brings so much to the table. So for me, this was a tough one, but I had the Eagles going with 5 safeties here. Epps, Harris, Tart, Kayvon, and Sasha-Ray. Now, I know a lot of people are saying Tart might not make the team, and that is very possible. But I think that this safety position is important, and you do have some guys that are versatile, but I think they'll be let go. So you got to keep these safeties. The 3 guys that can get starter quality, I think, should make the team. Kayvon Wallace, hopefully, you just want to give him another year to find out what he has. I know he hasn't stepped it up much. And then Andre Sasha-Ray, I just feel it's so hard to keep him off this damn roster because he is such a special teams talent. And, he really stepped in well last year, I thought, when he was able to come in and play nickel corner when everybody else thought, it would be this guy, that guy, or the other. It didn't really matter. In the end, it was Sasha-Ray. So it just showed how much trust Gannon actually had in Andre. And, that was pretty cool to me. So exciting. But that was it, ladies and gentlemen. That was the offense and the defense. But we don't leave anybody out in these parts. So we're going to get into Michael Clay's special teams here in 2 seconds. I'm going to show you not only, just the specialist, but the return men here in a second, too. What is going on, my man? Astro Jackson in the building. What is going on, dude? We're going through this 53-man roster. Just broke down each position. Now I'm going to show you guys the depth chart in a second and all this other great stuff. So hope you're having yourself a great night. I appreciate you taking the time, my man. And let me know how you're feeling about this, whether you're watching it now or you're watching it later. You guys can let me know your thoughts on it. People still don't know about Sam and Will Live. It makes me want to jump off a cliff. I hope you're doing well, man. Nice to see you. I don't know how many videos I've made now trying to explain these things. And, dude, the simplest thing, the strong side is the side with the tight end. And I try to simplify it by just saying that to people. And it's like there's so many things that go into being a Sam linebacker. I try to man, I've tried my best. And I tried to explain these things before we got Hassan Reddick, before what a nose tackle is, because it's like the Eagles desperately needed these things. Like, that's what pisses me off about the people getting paid to, give information to people. And then people are pissed at me because I'm trying to explain what's actually happening. It's like, oh, well, I read. And it's like, well, I don't give a shit because those people told you that we're switching defenses. And we literally already ran this defense last year. So that tells you what their knowledge of the game is. They watched every single game and didn't know. You're telling me people didn't know we ran on front. So are you watching? Or are you really watching? You're not. So you're complaining about something you don't even watch or understand. And that, to me, that's why I don't even listen to those people all the time, because it's like, all right, dude, yeah, you know about Hurts and everybody, don't you? Yeah, it's like, shut up, dude. You never even picked up a ball in your life. And I try not to say that to people, because you don't have to have played football to be, but it's just like with anything in life. If you've done it before, it usually helps you out to understand it. And if you become obsessed and learn everything you can, that also helps. So just a pro tip for the people that are getting paid out there, maybe learn the game. I don't know. That's just an idea. There wasn't hype when Jimmy Moreland. Wait, there was hype when we got Jimmy Moreland, but I haven't heard of him much at all this offseason. Preseason will give a lot of chance. Yeah, man. You guys are only going to hear what those reporters are going to tell you. And unfortunately, I don't have a press pass yet, so I can only tell you what I've seen. But you guys know we have a lot of talent all over, so it was going to be impossible for me to watch everybody. But this preseason, this is why I stress you have to watch the preseason. You have to watch these guys battle it out, because these are the guys trying to win the depth position. And if anything were to happen, you got to find it out. So everybody talked about how many receivers we have. Look at how many corners we have. And that's why I try to stress it as soon as we sign Jimmy Moreland. Look at all the other ones we've got. He's got an uphill battle. So people see it now. Sucks to see Tart not practicing. Yeah, sucks to see all 20 of those guys not practicing today. Hyped? Dude, that'd be an understatement. I'm ready to run through a wall. We've got preseason football on Friday. Let's go. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Let's go Birds. You know it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate every one of you tuning in here, going through all that. But just to show this special teams, and then we're going to go through the positional count and the depth chart. So don't leave me just yet, but I appreciate you here. There are your three specialists. Brought in no competition for Sippo, so those are your guys. And then you saw that I kept Britton Covey on there, and that is because he is going to be the return specialist. And you've got other guys that can help, not just Rager. So you've got Pascal, Scott, Watkins, and Gainwell. I didn't put Ward on there. Don't think he makes the team. So that's how I have it. That's what I'm sticking with. Hope you enjoy it. Now, let's take a recap. You saw the three specialists there, obviously, so you only need 50 more. So if you missed any of it, going to give you the positional count. We'll see if this makes Mr. Laurie happy. How many we're keeping on offense and defense. So I have us at 24 offensive players, 3 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, 6 receivers, 3 tight ends, and 9 offensive linemen. Remember, 1 tight end and 1 offensive lineman on the pup list. That does not count against the roster. Now on to the defense. I had us keeping, that's right, if you did the math, 26. So 4 interior defensive linemen, 4 edge rushers, 2 Sam linebackers, 5 linebackers, 6 corners, and 5 safeties. That was it, ladies and gentlemen. That was the 53-man projection. Now I'm going to show you in a depth chart. And the thing that pisses me off more than anything is I made this all for you guys, and this was, if you guys remember, supposed to be the show for Saturday, and well, it's not. So here we are today on Tuesday doing it. Now that I'm not in the hospital and everything, but it sucks because now they dropped a depth chart, but I like mine more. So we're going to show you what I've got here. Here's the offense, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to be a doozy. I cannot wait to see this offense, but Hurts, Minshew strong. I'd feel comfortable with it. You guys already saw this list, but just showing you in depth chart form. Miles Sanders, Kenny Gainwell, Boston Scott, love it. And if you see these guys in green, that just means they're a new player. If you see them in red, it means they're on the pup list. So A.J. Brown, holy sh. Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, cannot wait to see those 3 shine. Don't care who's in the slot. Don't care who's at X, Y, G. Y is the tight end. But anyways, we're going to keep it moving. Jalen Reagor, Zach Pascal, Britton Covey. I think those guys make it, man. And I think that's an exciting room. Then the tight ends, Goddard, Stoll, Calcaterra. Love it. When Jackson comes back, he's going to feast. Let's go. Talked about those linemen. I feel with the versatility of some of those backup pieces, you could get away with it. Wait for Toth to get back. If you want to add them to the roster, you can. Do whatever. You've got guys that are young on the practice squad that are exciting. So love this offense. I think it's going to be one of the top offenses in the league. Already were last year with a first-year starting quarterback and so many new pieces, a new head coach, new offensive coordinator, a defense that was struggling. So this number 1 rushing attack is going to open things up for play action, and A.J. Brown fits that pretty well. So I think a lot of fun things are going to happen this year, and I'm ready for all of it. Now on to the defense. We're going to take a gander here to try not to get misconstrued. Remember, I showed you those schemes, but we're looking at just the defensive end, outside linebackers, those edge rushers up top here. We got Sweat, Graham, Barnett, Jackson. Then defensive tackles, Cox, Hargrave. They're going to be starting together a lot of the time. And then Milton Williams' depth also going to get a lot of snaps. Jordan Davis, he is the starting nose tackle. He will be starting day 1, and he will be eating people alive. Sam linebacker is Hassan Reddick with Kyron backing him up. Think he beats out Patrick. Kaiser White, TJ Edwards, dude, with Nakobe Dean, Davian Taylor, and Sean Bradley. That's quite the linebacking group. I'm very excited. Hopefully those guys can start gelling together sooner rather than later. The cornerback position we talked about. Oh, hell yeah. Slay, Bradbury, Maddox. Oh, yes. Here, I must not have switched Joby when I was erasing that stuff into the spot he was supposed to be. But this was a list of all of the guys. If you guys remember, we had this before, but I had Moreland, Josiah Scott, all those other guys. But I did not want to put Joby where Moreland is. I wanted to erase that and put Joby where Gowan was. But I think Joby can play outside, but I think, honestly, he could play inside with that size 5'11". And I think he could maybe even move a little bit to safety. So that versatility, I think, would definitely help him. But just keep in mind, that's Josh Joby, not Jimmy Moreland. Not sure why it says that. You guys can go back to the clip you saw. I had Joby on there. Anyways, Marcus Epps, Harris, Tart, Wallace, and Sasha Ray rounding out that defense. Going to be a top 3 defense, ladies and gentlemen. I think that defense is going to dominate. But again, it's going to take time. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. On paper, it looks beautiful. I just think the things I've talked about and the way that defense works, if everybody stays healthy and they all start clicking, watch out. NFL top 3 defense. Now, looking at the special teams, we've got a Britton Covey sighting. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, a return specialist. I cannot stress how much we need one of those. So you've got other guys that can help out there. Exciting, exciting, exciting for me, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, it was just as exciting for you. But that's all I've got for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed that 53-man roster projection and also the depth chart projection. Let me know how you feel about it. From everybody to Dope Dubs to JP to Drew to everybody that, Tate, all of you guys. I truly appreciate each and every one of you guys commenting, or if you're just watching, you're here to learn something, or you want to chime in, whatever it is. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. You do live streams for games, would love to talk. I do not. I enjoy watching those games. So that is not something I do. But yeah, man, that's something, people have asked me about before. And it's like, I don't even take phone calls. It took me a little while doing this kind of stuff to be able to like start posting and talking about the game. Cause it's like, dude, I don't want to talk about anything. I want to watch it. So I'm nuts. Like when I grew up, my dad, we had our phones plugged into the wall. He would unplug the phone and be like, oh, what if it's an emergency? He's like, well, I guess it'd have to wait till after the Eagles game. I'm not even kidding. So it's that's how I grew up, man. And that's just kind of my mentality. It's like, that's that time of the week. I cut everything else off, man. It's my time to enjoy, with my family or whoever I'm watching with, or if I'm there or whatever it is, man. So we'll see. Would I bring back Jacoby Stevens on the practice squad? Definitely. We're going to talk about, practice squad, all that kind of stuff. I keep you guys on the loop with everything. So I think Stevens, somebody with that versatility that played some safety, that is a linebacker now, I think it's perfect. So he could definitely be on the practice squad. Great question there. But I'm going to roll out here, ladies and gentlemen. Chest is hurting, running on fumes here, but I appreciate all of you taking the time. Let me know your thoughts. How many do you have us keeping in each position? Who don't you like that I have on there? Who did I leave off that you want on there? Whatever is on your mind, let me hear it. But I appreciate you guys. And if you need anything, you can always reach out to me, whether it's about life, football. And again, one more time, thank you to all of you who reached out to me or commented or whatever it was. You guys are truly awesome. Appreciate all of your support. Need all the good vibes I can get. Gonna keep fighting this damn corona. Whoo, it is kicking my ass right now, though. And I'm sick of not being able to bring you guys that 100% fire that you deserve. I'm going to get rested up so we can be back tomorrow talking about those practice notes. And yeah, we'll just keep rolling, dude. That's just how it goes around here. Appreciate you. And appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. But I'm going to go eat something, drink some water, get some rest here, and get my pap and ass back to 100% here. So stay safe out there, ladies and gentlemen. And again, if you need anything, I always say it, but I mean it. Seriously, reach out to me. But yeah, until next time, I'm Jimmy Smith. This has been On the Road to Victory. Stay safe out there. And as always, go on!